Let's go over Solo: A Star Wars Story when it comes to the box office results and Disney's response once again. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, the Han Solo film debuted on Thursday night last week, 1 week ago already. Time just passed by so fast, but looking at the Han Solo movie specifically and how it's been doing at the box office, you know, we've been reading about this a lot of how it didn't do too well and how it stalled in comparison to all the other Disney-era Star Wars films, such as Rogue One, The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens, and Disney, these past couple of days, almost a week now, they've really been trying to get down to the bottom of it all. They've been hard at work on figuring out exactly why things happened the way they did. And like I say, I really do believe that the big reason, a big chunk of it, comes from The Last Jedi Backlash and the Solo: A Star Wars Story boycott, as well as some marketing issues thrown in there in the mix. Now, looking at the Han Solo film, we do have an update by Dave Hollis, the distribution chief over at Disney, who has also been trying to figure out exactly why things happened the way they did with the box office results for their second anthology film. Now, this is what Dave Hollis had to say in a recent interview. These first three films that we released did more than $4 billion. This is our fourth movie now in what is our fourth year of having the Lucasfilm franchise, said Dave Hollis, distribution chief for Disney. He goes on to state, "It feels a little premature to talk about fatigue. We're also planning our releases for Star Wars movies in the same rooms where we are planning movies for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And we had Thor, Black Panther, and Infinity War in November, February, and May, and they were all wildly successful. The Marvel movies, 3 of them, did very, very well. All in, within a 12-month time span. They all did very, very well, right? And looking at Solo: A Star Wars Story, I like how he pointed out how it's a little premature to say that fatigue is a part of all of this, which I have stated before in my previous videos. Fatigue is most definitely not an issue. I don't think that Star Wars fans are very tired of Star Wars movies, in a sense, just because it's Star Wars. I think it's just things that are being implemented in these specific stories, like here and there, like little things that people disagree with. I think The Last Jedi Backlash definitely took a toll. I think that the Solo: A Star Wars Story boycott really took effect on the box office numbers for this movie. So I gotta give it to Dave Hollis for mentioning that it's most likely not Star Wars fatigue. It's a little too premature to think about that. I think that Disney, in their gut, I think they really know what's going on. I think that they are realizing that The Last Jedi Backlash really is a thing. And if you guys disagree with that, that's perfectly fine and okay. If you guys think it's not caused by the boycott or The Last Jedi Backlash, hey, I respect everybody's opinion out there. Everybody has an opinion, their own idea as to why things happened the way they did. But I, for one, believe that The Last Jedi Backlash and the boycott definitely took effect into this movie, especially on opening night on Thursday. When I went into my movie theater, it was, half full. So looking at, the fact that they mentioned of how they're planning Star Wars and their Marvel Cinematic Universe movies in the same room, how he stated that he had Thor, Black Panther, and Infinity War in November, February, and May, and they were all wildly successful. We also have Ant-Man and the Wasp coming up not too far from now. So I think that Solo: A Star Wars Story is an example that I think it's coming from the feedback of The Last Jedi, because we do know that there was a lot of negativity, a lot of criticism going against that film, a big amount of backlash based on decisions by director and writer Rian Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, head of Lucasfilm, you name it. Just looking at some of the story decisions and some of the character choices of how they treated some of the characters in that movie definitely caused a wide backlash, and people from seeing this movie, I see it all the time, not only on YouTube, but I see it on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere on the internet, that a lot of people are not going to go ahead and see this movie, or at least stayed home a couple of days until they went to go ahead and see this film, as opposed to other Star Wars movies. Now, looking at what this means for the future, like I have gone over in my past videos, Disney actually changed up their strategy because of all this. Apparently now, they are ditching the format of 2 Star Wars movies within a 12-month time span, and they're ditching the idea of releasing a Star Wars movie in May. Which honestly, I wish that, kind of like just takes a nice reverse. I hope that we do get 2 Star Wars movies a year once again. I think I honestly like that because, like I said in my last video, I think 2 Star Wars movies a year is great for people who necessarily aren't all too excited for one Star Wars movie, and then if you have another movie thrown in the mix within a 12-month time span, you might actually like that movie, and you can look forward to that one within just 12 months. So let me know what you guys think about all of this, because the whole entire Solo a Star Wars story situation, it really is quite the phenomenon. I mean, everybody has been reporting that their theaters were near empty on not only opening night, but many days throughout Memorial Day weekend, and even this whole entire week so far. We'll have to wait and see exactly how this weekend goes. There's a lot of media sites out there claiming that this weekend will induce last weekend, that it'll actually make a whole lot more money than last weekend, which I really don't see how it would, but we'll have to wait and see. But I will say that I did see the movie on Thursday night. I thought it was a good film, not a great film. I enjoyed Rogue One more. It's a fun ride, not to be taken too seriously, and I can tell you guys right now that it definitely is just a heist film. It's not a war movie, and it's not a traditional Star Wars film. It's something in and on itself, right? It's something in and on its own. Something different, something raw, something that you have not seen before in the Star Wars franchise. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.